What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're back with a live performance, and not just a live performance, but a live acoustic performance of a track that is not acoustic in its album rendering. I wanted to give a big shout out to David, who already shared the piano version of Soft Rains of April, and as well has shared a couple Morton tunes. We'll talk about those in a bit. But yeah, for the time being, we're going to listen to an acoustic version of Summer Moved On, originally from Minor Earth Major Sky, in which I noticed became a staple of their live shows after that. I think it's included on both How Can I Sleep With Your Voice in My Head and Ending on a High Note, so an indication that it's one that became at least a favorite for the band, and presumably that means for many fans as well. I do enjoy that moment when all the music cuts out and Morton's voice just soars over the top of everything before it all comes back around or returns in full. So yeah, that's always been a favorite moment of mine since I first heard the tune, and I think that moment has hit very well in the live versions I've heard as well. In any case, yes, taking this to an acoustic setting means reducing the intensity of some of the sonics and perhaps giving it more of a simple or intimate type of feel, or at least that's typically what happens when you take a track that is, uses electric guitar or other instruments which have amplitude and electronic power behind them, and then render them in a more simple setting. So I imagine the track will have a bit of a smaller feel, if you will. I believe this was done for a radio appearance in the UK in the very early 2000s, so without further ado, let's hear it. This is Aha and a live acoustic performance of Summer Moved On, and it says here as in the metadata, Radio Session UK, so I don't know if that's like a particular program or just an indication of the setting in which it was performed.
Summer moved on, and the way it goes, you can't tag along. Honey moved out, and the way it went leaves no doubt. Moments will pass in the morning light. I find out seasons can't last, and there's just one thing left to ask. Stay, don't just walk away and leave me another day, a day just like today, with nobody else around. Friendships move on until the day you can't get along. Handshakes unfold, and the way it goes, no one knows. Moments will pass in the morning light. I found out seasons can't last, and there's just one thing left to ask. Stay, don't just walk away and leave me another day, a day just like today, with nobody else around. Seasons can't last, and there's just one thing left to ask.
should be clapping in the studio. Fantastic. I wondered, how that extension, which then leads right into another soaring vocal moment, like the ability to have that amount of breath control and to hit the end of that extension as powerfully, if not more powerfully than the opening of it, is already remarkable. And to immediately come back into one of those soaring moments, with the dead pause of everything behind it, that's just incredible. And I like how, it's not quite the same intensity of that like synth string recurrence right after that dead pause, but the use of the bass, and which I don't know, maybe it was just the acoustic guitar itself, but it sounded like a bass guitar. Either way, the use of the reduced power still worked very well on the back end of that moment each time it came around. And yes, definitely a more intimate feel to this performance, but Morton's voice feels so spot on relative to the album track that it's like in the moment you kind of forget how different it is, or at least that's how I was experiencing it. And yes, definitely some nice guitar moments as well, like the particular playing like really hits the right spot, so to speak. So it works just as well in this configuration, I would say, even if it's not quite as grand or epic of a tune. So again, shout out to all the guys, shout out to David once more for sending this. As I said, there's a couple special performances from Morton that he sent as well, so somewhere down the line we'll get to those. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.